Greetings, greetings, greetings. I recognize that it's really late, and I decided to just come on live. So I'm just waking up. I actually ended up going to sleep at I don't know, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And so I am up. It's, 2 o'clock in the morning, which is perfectly okay for me because, excuse me, I am in my Enchantress womb phase. And with the Enchantress, she is the dark maiden. She is the one who goes down into the autumn and the magic of life. She is the wild woman or witch. And during this time, I get a lot of creative ideas. We all do if we embrace our premenstrual time. We recognize that we have this deep thinking mind, and we have the awareness of all of the feminine archetypes, the goddess archetypes, from the maiden to the mother to the enchantress to the crone, all in our cycle. And when I am in my enchantress phase, it starts about day 21, I feel so magical. So it's very fitting for me to be here at 2 o'clock in the morning talking to y'all, because when you allow yourself to be engulfed and immersed in the cyclical womb goddess archetypes, then you become her at that time, and you can receive her medicine. So for me, speaking right now at this time in the morning is me receiving her medicine and me living out my enchantress archetype. And so what I want to talk to you about briefly is I do want to talk a little bit about the enchantress, and also want to talk to you about this womb mantra. I realized I didn't give a womb mantra for the week, and what came to me as I was resting was this mantra that really has a lot to do with how, and I have a few cards here as it relates to the enchantress, but to stand between the worlds and to know the unseen and to weave creative magic into the world. That is the blessing of the enchantress. In my increasing darkness, I awaken to my magic. I feel it deep within myself, wild and creative, and I do not fear. I hold onto her hand, and as she shows me the way to embrace my feminine spirit and my enchantress time. The enchantress also comes. Sometimes this is going to go in and out. You may see me, you may not, as I am having things a little bit dimmer. And so with the enchantress, she allows for that energy of autumn to come in, and for you to feel the magic. So I have been devoted to the point where, I just want to make sure, okay, everything is good with me recording. I have been devoted to the point where I'm able to actually deeply connect to the spirit of each one of the goddess archetypes in my cycle. So I'm really excited about that. I've been feeling my enchantress, my inner enchantress, and then the goddess as the face of enchantress very, very deeply. Excuse me, I'm drinking some tea. Very deeply now, and it's been a blessing for me. So that is the magic of the enchantress. I've been thinking about how we stand in between worlds, and the enchantress also represents a middle-aged woman. She also represents the change of life. She represents autumn. She represents the decreasing moon, bringing about creative ideas. Even if you're not able to live out and build some energy and do those ideas, you have those ideas available to you. So that when your energy begins to come back up, you can your cycle during your mating time, during your post-menstrual time, you're able to go in and evaluate and look at those inspirations and those seeds that you had and see how you want to place your life force. So I love enchantress energy. I feel the magic. I feel the magic of the enchantress within me, which is very natural for me as a priestess, right? But I want to talk to you also about Thinx. So I know some of you have been seeing me connect with Thinx and talking about Thinx and all of that. And I wanted to kind of talk about why Thinx, why period panties, why have I been connecting with that energy, and how I decided to get into being a Thinx leader, and what that has meant for me. So it's really important that for me, I feel a deep call whenever I decide to work with any brands. This is the first brand that I actually decided to work with. I want you to excuse me because technically this is the second day of my Green Goddess Devotion Cleanse for the summer. I'm doing a nourishing cleanse and release over this entire season. So I want to drink my tea. I got some nourishing tea right now. But so sometimes when you are in your Enchantress, and it can get very frustrating, you feel sometimes your thoughts are very discombobulated. And I kind of experienced that earlier today when I went live. I was just like, oh, whoa, my thoughts are kind of all over the place. And that's another thing that, we bless ourselves when we are in our premenstrual time to embrace, is when we're feeling a little off. We may feel like tension. We may feel like we need to release. We may feel inspired, and we're kind of like being into the flow of letting that go. Okay. And so our consciousness change and flows. So we let go and we allow and we embrace that dark beauty. We embrace the ongoing tides and the magic of it and how it moves and how it weaves. Okay. That's all the medicine from the Enchantress. And so just allow for that. So with Thinx, I actually became a Thinx leader because it's really about representation. So y'all know I am a sensual plus size model. Now I can officially say panty model, underwear model. And I've been doing that on Instagram as part of my Sensual Goddess devotion, and it kind of went into a I don't know. I don't really want to say business, but I guess business. But it's so delightful, so pleasurable. It just weaves into my work in the world and my truth and my devotion into my inner honey muse, into my inner Ushu energy as she's expressed as sensual goddess and beauty. And so, when I came across someone, a Thinx leader, she also was a BBW in the sensual modeling community. And I saw her wearing her Thinx, and she was like sexy in my Thinx, and she just felt so good. And I was seeing her doing her yoga all on her menstrual time. And I kept seeing her, watching her month after month. And I was just like, I want to experience that. I already was just for years and years loved free bleeding anyway. And I was just thinking, well, I want to free bleed. I love free bleeding. I don't want to have to worry about putting all this stuff down on my first day of my menstrual. Listen, for as long as I can remember, I would take off the first day. Even when I was working as a social worker, I would call off. I would take a sick day on the first day of my cycle to honor that. And I realized, I probably shouldn't be working for someone. I remember one of my mentors was just like, I don't think you need to work for someone because you can't just be taking off every day. So listen, they probably knew my cycle because I will always take off on the first day so I could free bleed. And I love the feeling of being able to free bleed without worry. And that's the thing with Thinx. All their undergarments, but particularly I love the panties. I don't have to really worry about it. I'm allowed to just let myself flow, right? Let my flow. And so that's been a tremendous blessing for me. But when I saw her and she had a big body like me, and I was just like, holy cow, if she could fit those, maybe I could fit them. And so we know how that works with the body. And you're like, ooh, I don't know if the size is going to work or if it's going to fit me or not. So I got the biggest size, And even with getting the biggest size at the regular 3X size, it still fit me. And the first time I tried them on, I felt so good. I started dancing, I started dancing around my bedroom, turned some music on. I was just like, I am on my sacred blood time. I feel sensual. I feel beautiful. I feel comfort. I don't have to, I'm not stressed out if I'm going to bleed through, and especially at nighttime. And it's just been such a tremendous blessing. So I said, okay, I'm going to get behind this brand and I'm going to connect deeper with it. And it's just been an opening to my mantra for my womb ministry at this time, which is embrace what's natural to you. And that has been very supportive for me. So that's why I am a Thinx leader, and that's why I've chose Thinx, and to support their vision and their mission, and let that weave also into my mission as a womb goddess, temple holder, and priestess, and practitioner, and Omo Ushun priestess. So now the womb mantra. Do y'all remember when J-Lo, she, like years ago, she came out with this article somebody had on USA Today. Somebody had interviewed her several years back. And she talked about how she loved affirmations and mantras, and she has them all over her home. And one of her affirmations really resonated with me. And what she said was, because, you know, at this time, I believe she was probably around my age, around 40 something. And what she says was, every single day she blessed herself. And she say, I am youthful and I am timeless. And one thing that we know about Jennifer Lopez is that she has definitely embodied youthfulness and timelessness. And so what I sat with for myself, as I began to think and resonate with that at this age, in my middle age, and as I embrace supporting my body, my beauty, and all that comes with being a middle-aged woman, being a 40-year-old woman, having a teenage high schooler, and what came through for me is my womb embraces youthfulness and wisdom. I recognize that I can have both. My womb embraces youthfulness and wisdom. I recognize that I have both. Ashe, Alafia, Ashe. So what that means is, I'll say again, my womb embraces youthfulness and wisdom. I recognize that I can actually have both. And so I'm not in that stage where I'm like this young maiden woman anymore in my actual life, feminine life cycle. I am Enchantress, I am mother, and I also have the opportunity to step into crone every single time I have my separate sacred blood. And that's what I love about being a womb cyclical goddess, is that I can embrace all of those energies, and I don't feel like I am short on anything. I don't feel like I'm scarce about experiencing youthfulness of the maiden and the enchantress and the mother and the crone. I can experience that throughout my cycle all the time, and I feel whole in that, operating and functioning that in my womb goddess lifestyle. And so having that and being that in that enchantress energy as an archetype, and as a mother as well, always weaving that energy, because I'm a mother, I'm in that mother life cycle, and also I have like moving into that middle age energy as well, as far as an enchantress and walking that unseen and creatively seen and unseen. And plus I'm a priestess, so I naturally embody enchantress energy. And you will notice that some of us just embody maiden, some of us embody mother, some of us embody enchantress, some of us, we have these different, the four archetypes, and we kind of nourish them a lot. And we may need to bring harmony and balance in which ones. For a long time I did not want to move out of maiden. And so I'm thankful that I embraced my queen mother, and I kind of shifted through that. But that's just feminine responsibility. I don't have to get into all of that right now. But to move in that unseen and inspiration and that flow and that magic of that autumn and creating your life and nourishing that within yourself is such a beautiful gift. And saying, yes, I am and I can be both. I can have youthfulness and beauty, and I can also have that deep mother crone wisdom. I am also like J-Lo. I am also youthful and timeless. My womb embraces youthfulness and wisdom, and I recognize that I can have both. Woo! That feels so good, so creative, and so beautiful. My ovaries is just like, yes, 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 yes. So I just want to bless you all with that coming from my Enchantress. If you are a woman who bleeds with the full moon, then you also you will resonate with this because you are also in your Enchantress energy right now. If not, come back and listen to this when you are in your Enchantress energy, which is about starting on the day 21 and going up into your sacred blood time, and sometimes a little bit over into your blood time as well. So I bless you. I love you. And also, please enjoy the plus size line for Thinx. If you are a plus size woman and you want that representation, it's a full plus size line. It was tested for our hips, our body, and it's an actual real line. So I bless you so much, and I am looking forward to enjoying the actual plus sizes on the way. My company went ahead and sent me out my panties today, and I am really looking forward to trying them on, modeling them. Okay. And so I'm so grateful for the representation and for that embracing plus size bodies, real bodies. So Ashe, I love y'all. I love y'all. Blessings. Now I'm going to go ahead and get back to my tea, get back to my medicine, because I am on day 2 of my Green Goddess devotion for the summer. And I am expecting miraculous miracles, health and wellness and youthfulness, and embracing both crone wisdom, mother wisdom, and beauty and youthfulness. So from my womb heart to your womb heart, I bless you. Ashe, 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 ashe. I'll see you next time.